Kick off the third and final game in this second semi-final. Of course, it is logiX taking on Peculiar. We're tied 1-1 in the best of three, and this is where we find out who's going to move through into the grand final. Deman, we've seen two, I'd say one-sided games, to be quite honest with you, in this semi-final. What can we expect from game number 3?
Well, I mean, they've immediately gone the bans, and they've whipped the bans out very, very quickly this time. So as you can see, Urgot, Twisted Fate, and Ari being taken out. So actually, I think they're the same bans as last game. Yes, they are for logiX. And Peculiar have gone LeBlanc, Shyvana, and Lee Sin. So they're not happy with that Shyvana Lee Sin lane that they've been up against this time. But quite a few things available now. LeBlanc was banned out all the time by them, but Shen is now available. So that could be an interesting one. Soraka also. Soraka being picked up by Peculiar. Honestly, I mean, this... I don't know how this is going to go, because logiX started out game 1. They had a 3-0 advantage. You thought, okay, they're going to win out the lane phase, looking good for them. But suddenly, Peculiar turned it around when it came to the team fights. Exactly the same happened, but both times, it's been all about that first dragon fight. So that's going to be a big pivotal moment that we need to keep our eyes on. But LeBlanc, I'm intrigued to know who the LeBlanc guy is. Well, it's got to be Akioso, you would assume. Yeah. But it's an interesting one that he's actually been banned out so many times, because you can do so many things against the LeBlanc. There's so many ways to counter it, but obviously they feel it is a big important step, so they feel they're taking it away. Olaf also picked up top lane. I think Olaf was played in game 1 of MTWN Faculty, I believe. But I don't think we've seen it. Was he played in game 1 of this series as well? Yeah. He was. He was top laner. For Peculiar. Yeah, which is what they dominated in. So, in fact, yes, of course, Blunatix picked up that double kill after Dragon, didn't he? So it was it sort of fed him, if anything. So what are logiX going to do to this one? They've got 8 seconds to choose. It is going to be possibly a Nocturne in the jungle. Udyr was available, and they've gone for Kog'Maw and Janna on that bottom lane. So picking up the Kog'Maw this time. It was their first pick in the first game as well. Didn't work out so well for them. Corki is available as well, which is what they really harassed it with. So, and there we go, Corki straight away. So Peculiar heading towards game 1 here, and they were strong in game 1.
They were very strong in game 1, weren't they? We saw them losing out the first 3 kills, and then it was all about them. They pretty much ran straight through logiX, even though they had a few hesitant moments as well. But I'd say out of the 2 teams that we've seen so far with a lead, I'd say Peculiar looked stronger when it came to finishing things off and how they needed to do it. Last game for me, logiX were very, very hesitant when it came down to those last minutes where, to be honest, they should have pushed. They should have been winning in, what was it, 52 minutes? I think a little bit earlier was better for that one. And it looks like we're going to be having Nautilus in. Yay.
Interesting. So Nautilus in the jungle, I would expect. Could be top lane. We've seen Voyboy playing him top lane as well. So don't ever rule anything out there. Akioso just flicking through all the champions. Severus looking like it's going to be Shen picked up. As I mentioned, Shen has been banned in the first 2 games. So that would make sense. So it could be a Shen versus Olaf top lane, which is... That is identical to the first game between MTW and Faculty, which was early on today. And it could well be Morgana. Morgana has been available all day and not picked. This could be the first Morgana we've seen picked up. And Morgana's an interesting one because it gets banned out so often and then is available and doesn't get picked. And it is one of those heroes I'm never too sure about Morgana. I mean, it can be strong if played well, but it can also be really bad if played wrongly. But it will be Morgana picked up. So on paper, logiX have a very strong team there in terms of, say, your normal solo queues, your normal 5v5s. But we're talking a little bit more extreme here. We're in the semi-finals of the ESL Pro Series, the spring season 2012, and logiX, who coming into this one as favourites, have looked hesitant.
Yeah, hesitant is the right word for it, I think. And the question is now, what are they going to go with against Morgana in the middle? Obviously, we do have the likes of Kassadin, for example, still available. We've not seen a Kassadin all day either, actually. And also wasn't banned. Why pick Kassadin?
And Kassadin actually works well against Morgana as well. It's a pretty good pick, as proven by the Koreans. Just on Wednesday, was it Thursday? Friday. Very strong indeed against XPK. It was on Morgana, get completely destroyed by a casting in. But it will be Brand, and Brand is another hero I've not seen for a long time. Brand is, it can be good and it could be bad. Now, judging by the team comp, I'm not sure on that pick, because the point of the Brand, you want the team that you're against to be huddled together. Well, they're not going to be that huddled. You're going to have Morgana diving in amongst your team. Shen's going to be in amongst your team. Nocturne's going to be in amongst your team. Janna's going to be at the back with Cogmore. So they're split 3-2. So I'm not sure about that pick, because you want your Pyroclasm, is it, bouncing off as many people as possible. So not convinced about that one.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Spell Shield. Which
yeah,
blocks
indeed, yeah.
everything that Brand can actually throw at her. So, yeah, and, you know, you can't afford to miss a single skill shot ever with Brand as well. But, yeah, I'm going to go with logiX for this one. I have to say that, for me, their lineup is the stronger of the two. We've seen the best of three, which, you know, we always talk about the kind of the mental game that goes on in a best of three. You lose quite heavily the first game, then you win heavily the second game, albeit with a bit of hesitance at the end. It's going to be logiX that are feeling more confident, without a doubt, coming into game number 3. And I feel with that lineup that they've got there, which is, for me, stronger, I see them winning this one and going through. But still, Peculiar, even in game number 1, where we saw them go off to a bad start, they turned it around and showed us that they definitely are up to the level to beat a team like logiX. Yeah,
indeed. So you can see the teams in front of you for logiX. If you've just tuned in, ladies and gentlemen, you've already missed one semi-final. Where have you been? We've been here since 10 a.m. UK time. And yes, and I was so pleasant and so happy to be here at that time as well. But we've already seen into the finals was N-Faculty, and joining them, well, will it be logiX or will it be Peculiar Gaming? It is the third match in the best of 3. And as you can see on your screens, it is going to be for logiX. Sleazy Weezy, yes, that is the same Sleazy Weezy, formerly of SK, who played in the World Cyber Games 2010 Grand Finals in Los Angeles. Intox on Janna as well. Will be the support down the bottom alongside Severus, who will be on Cogmore. Intox, I've already covered. Blood Dragon, Nocturne in the jungle. So Nocturne, could we see some crazy ganks coming out from him this time from long way out? Akioso also will be in the middle on Morgana for Peculiar Gaming. And are we going to see an invade this time? This could be the first one of the day, Joe, and it's looking like logiX might well go for it. Let's quickly flick through the team. Coralol, on Soraka. I'm going to have to cut this one short. Cariana's here. Here goes logiX. They're going to dive in, and immediately Peculiar backing off. Lunatics has gone down south, but they did know that the rest of the team were there. Are they going to wait? That's the question. Are they going to pull up? No, they're just going to go back around and separate. Really didn't do anything with that, did they? So that was just like a stroll in the park. That's all they wanted. Carianas is on Nautilus. Nautilus in the jungle. He can be a fantastic jungler, but he can be hit and miss as well. But he really can telegraph those ganks when he's coming out. Blunatics on that top lane. He played a brilliant Olaf earlier on in the first match. Meanwhile, Tabuno will be on Corki, who also played a brilliant Corki in the first match. And Attackman on Brand. A peculiar choice I'm not convinced about, but I guess we could find out. He played a fantastic Twisted Fate in the first match. Let's see how his Brand is.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how his Brand is going to be as well. You know, he didn't have a particularly bad game on Galio either. He was just countered, quite frankly, to be honest with you. So we'll see how he does here with the Brand. Obviously, bottom lane is going to be Janna Cogmore versus Corki and Soraka, and top lane is going to be Shen versus Olaf. So, as we get into the swing of things, how is it going to start out? Nautilus starting off with the blue. Nocturne has actually already done red and the raid. Scotland were taken by his bottom lane, of course, and he's already headed up onto the top side of his jungle to get himself started with that blue buff here in just a short moment. Will we see him go for that level 2 gank? Actually, Blood Dragon did gank early on in the first game. Who was he in the first game? Shyvana, okay, yeah. So we'll see once he gets this double buff up and running, whether he goes straight in there. Actually, the interesting thing, Nautilus has picked up the blue buff. He's going to go back this time now and do Wolves. So taking, for me, well, definitely for not just for me, for everyone, that slower path going in there. The question is now, will Blood Dragon go around and get himself a look at that red buff? Obviously, they have no idea that Nautilus has not gone in there, and logiX knows that Nocturne's in that bush because there's a ward there. And he's going to come in, and that's just wasted time, quite frankly, by now. But the question is, will he go over onto the Nautilus side of the jungle? No, he's not going to. Nautilus is going to go back straight in and do his red now.
Yeah, and that's a nervy time for Carianos there, because he was on red, like you say, but he spotted Nocturne going back around. He's also got a ward, so we can see Nocturne there as well, which means Brandy's going to back away straight away. And good ward placement working early for Peculiar Gaming here. Blood Dragon trying his best to see if he can bait anyone out. He will find a rather angry Nautilus if he continues about his path here. And he will get that Q across. Will he manage to steal it? No, he won't. Carianos making sure he got that one. And did he just use his smite there?
Yeah, he did.
He did, yeah, he used the smite, yeah, just to make sure he got that large wraith. He only had to hit it once, but did not want to lose out on that 34 gold and the experience that goes with it. So down the bottom, Severus versus Tabuna. Well, Tabuna was pushed heavily as Cogmore in the last game. Let's see if Severus has the same harassment for him. Meanwhile, at the top, Sleazy Weezy could get an angry Nautilus on him in a moment, but immediately backs away and tries to bait with the teleport. I'm not too sure whether he's actually going. Yeah, I think that was a pure bait. And he is, this time, going to fight a long way back. Remember, the Shen got caught out so often in the first game. I think that was the faculty match, wasn't it? But I think Sleazy's going to play it a little bit more secure this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Sleazy saw him coming, to be honest with you. I guess it was more of his sense they're playing a little bit more defensive than it expected to. Knowing that Nautilus had just finished that red buff, Nocturne spotted him earlier on. More of a good call, I think, than any real vision that they had over there. And Tabuna, again, managing to knock Severus down to about half HP. Both AD carriers have once again gone for summon a heal. And we do have Nautilus now in the top side of this brush. He's going to have to be patient, though, because there's a big wave going on to Sleazy's tower in a second. Which means, I guess he's in for a good few seconds wait if he is going to wait for this one. No, he decides, well, that's just not going to happen for me. And get myself away from that one again. Tabuna went in, Phosphorus Bomb dropped onto Severus. Not enough to really be too worrying for him. And again, this is an edgy start to the game. Both teams not wanting to, overextend themselves or go for any silly moves whatsoever. They are going to keep it pretty standard stuff early on. No first blood after 6 minutes almost.
Yeah, very nervy stuff, and rightly so. It is a semi-final match. It is the knockout stage. Who wants to be in that third, fourth place playoff, really, after all?
No one.
No one wants to be in that match. It is all about the finals. And Severus is farming very well this time. Corky's not really harassing him as much as I would have expected. 43 to 38 CS, very even between these two. The mid lane Morgana has gone back and bought, but Brand is also coming back with identical items, so they've both got the double Doran's rings and the boots that they started with, as well as double ward placement, so they're both very nervy about their junglers, whether they're going to get some crazy ganks coming out. Severus taking a quick Phosphorus Bomb to the face, tries to follow it up with a basic attack, and this is something that, it's always interesting to get interviews with the top AD players. Not so much interviews, just get them to do breakdowns. And you've seen a few of them. I know Doublelift has done one recently in his ammo, and he's basically broke down how it works out in that bottom lane. It's always interesting to see how it is at top levels, because a lot of viewers that watch these games will just go, oh, well, it's easy just farming. But like they mentioned, once you get to the top level, you're beyond farming. You're sort of into the point where you need to land a basic attack. You need to get that last hit, land the basic attack, spot when they're going to come for the last hit. There's so much more involved in sort of harassment involved, and rather than just simply farming, which is your standard, bog standard elo sort of stuff. Everybody knows you need to last hit. It's what you do after it, and it's really, and a lot of that's down also to the support. So, Intox should be playing a big part in here, whereas actually Intox wasn't doing a great deal to Tabuna there, while Tabuna was laying damage on towards Severus, and I would probably be harassing my support, saying, why are you not doing anything here? They realise he's on his own. Coralol had gone back, so they should really be pushing Tabuna away as much as possible, but it wasn't working. They didn't do anything about it. Meanwhile, the rest of the map, you can see actually Dark Binding's landing on Attackman there, and the Tormented Soil going down, but not really a great deal coming out of it because, well, Morgana hasn't got a great deal of damage right now. And Sleazy Weezy continuing just a happy farm against Blunatix. This is going to be a very even battle. A quick Q coming out, but it wasn't a Q, it's E, isn't it? Yeah, E, Reckless Swing, that's the one. Swing! On towards Sleazy. But Sleazy's just going to lifesteal all that back up. That's all he's going to do.
Yeah, real tense stuff. And you can tell that no one wants to make a first step in this game. That's just how it's going to be. Then we could well see once again coming down with a first action on the first dragon fight. Actually, in the first game we saw 20 minutes without a first... No, that wasn't the first game. That was in the first best of 3 today. 20 minutes without first blood. Actually, Severus just been prevented from going home there by Corky. Nice harassment. That will delay his return to lane somewhat. Let's have a look. Olaf has just come back in lane. Heart of Gold is finished, plus that Vamp Scepter. And actually, Tabuna going to start working his way in and doing some damage onto this turret. Brand also coming back. Double Doran's Ring, plus the Sorcerer's Shoes as well. And now, as we see Olaf come in, what's his plan against Sleazy Weezy? Just sticking out a Reckless Swing. Axe went in there as well. And I imagine that Sleazy will be going home pretty sure. Actually, he's got a Heart of Gold and Ninja Tabi, so I guess he already did go home, and I missed that one. Kaiso here in the middle. Also, Double Doran's Ring. Only the Tier 1 boots up to 9, though. It's sat on 900-something gold. And Nocturne, who is now level 6, is waiting in the wings. Not that he would have really got anything from that angle. I think they needed to get a Dark Binding in a fairly aggressive position to have stopped Attackman there where he was. And Nocturne will go back about his path and keep farming. So neither jungler really getting any kind of opportunity so far, and having to focus in on picking up those creeps as they go. 46 CS to 52, so slightly ahead is Nocturne up to now. There's a pink ward down by Dragon, so very possible that Peculiar in this next 3 minutes are going to be ready to make their way in again. Blood Dragon came for a sniff down bottom, and again Corky realised it because there's a ward down in this tri-bush. So, Deman, let's take bets. Upon which minute are we going to get first blood?
Well, it's going to be the dragon fight. I think that's where it's likely to come from. Shen is thinking about going back. He's trying to bait Blunatix to back off here, I think. I'm just trying to see exactly what he's doing. He pushed him right up the tower and then just completely backed off, but he hasn't gone back himself. And remember, when that dragon fight starts, we are at 11 minutes, so probably in the next minute or two, he can just ulti down there, whereas Blunatix is going to have to run. Blunatix is going back now, so this may well be the start of what could become the dragon. You can see Nautilus is on Wolves, so he's in position as well. Nocturne looking like he may try and have a poke towards Brand, but no, it's going to back away and carry on with Wolves. We'll keep a track on Olaf. Olaf is going back to the top, so the call's not come out from Peculiar on Dragon just yet, so they're going to continue on their farming session. Let's have a look. Has anyone really built up anything to get quick dragons? No, there's no... you can see Blood Dragon just about to meet Carianas there. Ping has gone down on Carianas' head. They've got that ward that he's just walked straight past, so they know exactly that he's there. And it's honestly, I think it might be down this bottom lane, whether they're going to have a poke back and forth. Severus again is eating a few hits there, but he's given a few to Tabuna as well. Tabuna now with that phase as well, so he's got a lot more hit points on him, but doing a lot more damage. But Severus is going to have that ulti and start, they're going to be poking each other from range. But again, you can see the top up there, the shield. And Coralol is doing a great job at topping up as well. Blunatix has warded out the river, so he's going to keep an eye on Sleazy. Sleazy's just been back to buy as well. The Giant's Belt actually coming out there. Blunatix went back to buy as well. And honestly, they're both going fairly identical in the builds. They just want the GP10 items in there as well. Down the bottom this time, they are going to catch them towards Severus. This time, Severus is sticking it out a little bit longer, and I think a little bit too long there, staying in the armor penner's shred that was coming out from Tabuna, and didn't really quite want to take as much damage as he could. This time, again, Nautilus is hanging around. I think when Brand picks up that blue, we might see movement. Yeah, we can see, look, where's Olaf going? Olaf is making his move. Is he heading south? Nocturne diving in towards the middle there, on towards Attackman with a will. Get the Dark Bindings down. Fear Prop will go off. There's the first blood we have been after. And actually, it came at perfect time because blue buff is still up. They could go for the invade on the blue buff here, and I think whether logiX realise that, or they're going to go down towards the bottom. Severus has been taken low. Intox also, can it be the ulti? No, the leg single shot comes out, 27 hit points, and they quickly back away. Is it quick enough though? Sleazy comes across, doesn't quite land the taunt across the two of them, and Hell's backed away. But Olaf making his way down, Joe, and I think that big fight on Dragon is about to happen.
Olaf is there, and this could happen. Actually, they've landed the dot right now to carry on. Does that mean we're going to see a fight from their point of view? It certainly looks that way. Carry on. He's burning with the ignite, but Blood Dragon will fall as well. And I tell you what, Cogmore's not too healthy here. There goes a reckless swing onto him from Bloonatix. He's not got enough mana to get the axe over there. I'm not sure if he does, to be honest. Yes, he does. He does have enough for that. Oh, but he is going to get caught, but that's a very dead Bloonatix. That was a little bit greedy there from Bloonatix, trying to get down and get that one last final reckless swing that he needed to finish off the kill. And obviously didn't work out in his favor, and that leaves us at a 3-1 lead for logiX. Dragon not being taken down. That blue buff is still on its spawn as well. But everyone after that engagement is going to go home. So, you know, things turning out again in favor of logiX. And the scary thing maybe for Peculiar is the fact that Morgana from that is now 2-0-1, needs the large rod picked up, and Cogmore also 1-0-1 will finish off the Regal's Lantern. He's already got Berserkeries plus that double Doran's ring.
Yeah, and Cogmore baited so well with that heal in that fight. He was about to die, and I think he was hanging on to see the axe movement as soon as it could come out. So he just sort of hung on, forced Olaf to come chasing, popped that heal, and then by then he kind of committed a little bit too deep. The rest of his team couldn't help him. Corki was very low, as well as Soraka. So again, like you say, they're going to gather back up for this this dragon fight. The pink ward has gone down from logiX. They are in position. They're going to start off that dragon, and honestly, I think it's going to be for free. I don't think Peculiar Gaming want anything to do with this one, or whether they're just in a situation to react. No, they're too slow. You can see Olaf coming down now. Way too slow. Way out of that one. And, well, you're down there, but I think they're going to realise it's already gone. Because Cogmore stayed in lane as well, which sort of distracted them a little bit and maybe bought them just enough time. Quick basic attack from Severus onto Tabuna. And the ping, actually, on Bloonatix. They realise where he is, so they're going to return to lane phase with that gold advantage, Joe. Yeah, and we saw there, actually, Olaf came down, took the race right from underneath Nautilus's nose. Which I'm sure Carrionis won't be too happy about at the end of things, but still, that's how it goes sometimes. Olaf wanting more and more farm. As Tabuno took a couple of auto attacks from Severus. Severus now obviously with that Wriggles Lantern in. He's up against a Corki who does have Fade Sheen. So Doran's Blade's out of the question there for Tabuno. He's headed straight up towards that Trinity Force as his first item, his first major item. Sleazy playing carefully up at this top. He's you know, got no vision down there of the river. Here comes Blood Dragon actually through, and he's going to catch Carrionis there. And, well, he spotted him, but wasn't able to catch up to him in time. And again, we move to a fairly stagnant game where both teams, they just want to farm right now. So I suppose that's a good time to look at their farm and how it is. Down the bottom, we have Corki with 140 there. Severus actually taking a couple of big hits, and Morgana could be in trouble trying to move in with Bloonatix. Does get hit with the axe, but that won't matter too much. He just walks straight away. But anyway, yeah, the CS down at bottom, 127 for Cogmore to 145 of Corki. So Corki ahead there. Morgana 149 to the 151, so it's slightly behind, or ahead now as she picks up another couple. So you can tell they're very even stuff in middle. Up at top, Shen 117 to the 120 of Olaf. So, you know, again, across the board, very even. Those couple of kills and Dragon just separating the teams out here, with logiX having that slight advantage. Yeah, and Hexdrinker being bought by Olaf as well. I'm not sure on that one. He's against Shen, so maybe wants that. Maybe he's thinking later on against Akioso, maybe. I'm not too sure. And perhaps Cogmore trying to put a bit of damage on towards Tabuna. Tabuna taking down very low. Nocturne is going to die for it. Exhaust goes down. The heal baited maybe. Will it be enough? The fear has gone off, and that's going to be a Shen ulti coming in. They're going to go on to Attackman. Attackman surely going to get picked off. Tries to pop the Pyroclasm. Bounces around a couple of times, but not enough. And he will go down. And now, well, yeah, Corky needs to get the hell out of there. Be careful, son. You are coming in towards a Dark Binding. If that Dark Binding would have hit him, he would almost certainly been a dead Corky. And that plane would have gone up in smoke. But it's bought time for logiX in that top lane to do a big wedge of damage. He's going to take at least half the hit points off that. Bottom tower probably going to go down to logiX here as well. And Akioso has returned back to mid to carry on farming, Joe.
Oh, ulti comes out actually from Nautilus here. They're fancying their chances, but I'm not sure that they've got anywhere near enough damage to stop this turret from going down, to be honest. Minions are in there as well, so they're taking those turrets. It's Coralot throwing the bananas at Sleazy, which are literally like throwing bananas at a person very slowly. It doesn't hurt a lot. Unless they hit it in the head, which I suppose you can get bruises from them at least. But yeah, Carianis went in there, used his ultimate, but didn't really stop anything from happening. And that will be a 4-1 lead. Of course, you've just seen an Oracle picked up there by Janet as well. So time to start clearing out the wards. And Brand, so far, has not been the pick that they've been looking for, Deman. 0-2-0. Obviously, we talked a little bit about how effective Brand really is in this matchup. And for me, I don't know, when Kassadin's open at least, when you've got Karthus, I mean, Karthus against Morgana, not obviously an easy lane, but I think there were better options than Brand from this one.
Yeah, exactly. There was really no AP band at all, was there, other than Twisted Fate. I think he was the only on LeBlanc. And Ari. But yeah, I mean, there was plenty available. There's a lot of ability power champions out there that could have been better. Who knows? You know, it might work out for the better. They did clump up as a 4, and he did manage to land the ulti across all 4 of them. So maybe. Tabuna, though, he's going to get targeted down the bottom there. Severus thinks he can finish this one out. Manages to land an ulti, but he will get backed away. Very good usage there. Had that ward in the bottom, and it was actually Tabuna that was trying to gank him, trying to set up. Severus just walked out, bided his time, then launched with that slow, managed to get it across him and do the damage. Now they've got a 4-man push on bottom lane, a 5-man push. They're going to try and close in. logiX need to back away from this one. Severus and Intox wisely do so, and realizing they are a little bit too out of position. Shen's ulti is available actually. Morgana is picking up the blue though, so he's a long way off at the moment, and that 5-man push will take the tower. So it's actually tower advantage currently to Peculiar. Can they steal the red? No, because it's not even there. And well, now the blue has been picked up by Akio, so he needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out. Nocturne with a Q lighting up the entire team there, and they know exactly where they are because they're leaving that snail trail as they go. And a ward from Akio, so proves it. That is the top lane down, so all square once again. Tabuna getting caught out by that Dark Bindings, and the mid lane could do with a little bit of defensive help here.
A little bit, yeah. There's 5 of them there, and Morgana's like, guys, you probably need to help me on this middle lane because it's not something that I'm feeling too confident with, and they will start to move in. Ulti actually goes out from Morgana, and she's got the Sudden's Hourglass already finished. Where's the target? The target doesn't seem to be very determined, in my opinion. Attackman's gonna not quite get away from that one. In come the rest of the team from logiX. Tabuno now has to be real careful. Gonna get taunted out. Tabuno goes down. logiX now in all kinds of trouble as well as he gets exhausted. Finished off by Sleazy, and that is going to be a 3-for-1. Carianis was also very low. For me, it looked like the logiX focus wasn't all that strong, but they kind of grabbed it by the nuts as they went through and then finished things off. That's going to give them a nicely deserved dragon after that big fight in middle. Just when it looked like they could be losing that middle turret there. There were 5 versus 1. Kog'Maw then came in with his ulti to do a bit of damage and start things off, and the rest of the team doing a great job there from logiX. That will be 7-2 in kills, 31 to 26k, and we're all tied up with turrets, although I think this mid one may just have a little bit of a problem. Actually, no, only Morgana is there. And, well, logiX grabbing the lead, Deman.
Yeah, and the top inner took a bit of damage because Shen was on that as well at the start of that fight, so he ulted down to come and help out a perfect point as well. So it was only a matter of time really. Once he got involved, he would manage to catch across on towards Tabuna and take him down. So all square in turrets, not in kills though. Big difference in kills. And in terms of gold, well, you can see that Morgana now is doing very well. Definitely the highest gold leader. In fact, they've got 3 people above 7k, whereas you know, 6.6k is the highest, and that is Olaf. So that's a problem already starting to form for Peculiar Gaming here. They fell behind in damage items, And in terms of gold, 3-0-3 for Cogmore. That's ideal. Mid tower is probably going to go here, so that will give the advantage. You can see Corky's just getting the last few hits on it. Will it be to his detriment of his life? No, he's going to get away. Valkyries across in towards the bushes. Akiose maybe going to try and catch onto Coralol. Dodges it very nicely and walks away from that one. Akiose is actually building up towards the Rabadon's Death Cap as well. Already completed, like I say, the usual rush on the Zhonya's Hourglass. So good build for Morgana early on. Brand still struggling. He has got that Riders built up early on, which is generally the right way to go. Had got the two Doran's Rings as well. Not too sure which one he's going to go for. He has picked up the afterpoint term. Could go either way. Ulti from Akioso here. That is a mistake. Completely went in on his own. I don't understand what he was thinking there. Whether he was expecting the rest of his team to help him out. Shen did ulti his way down, but there was no way because he was just... he's completely locked away from his team, so he's just gifted them a kill. And honestly, they take something big from this. They're going to go for invade. Is it going to be a Baron from this one? 24 minutes in, possible.
Looks that way. There's 5 of them there, and they are going to start off Baron. So nice little start here. The question is, can logiX force him to peel off and force his fight? I think so. With Cogmore hammering away from a distance, logiX aren't going to feel confident enough in terms of their HP to stick around from this one, I think. However, are they going to get caught up on their exit from this one? I think Cogmore's done such a good job there, Deman, of preventing that Baron from happening, keeping them slowed and actually coming in for the team fight as well. Yeah, Baron now not an option for Peculiar as Morgana starts getting. But yeah, that was a strange move from Morgana. Actually, she had the cooldown ready for the Zhonya's Hourglass, but she got knocked up in the air, which makes me think that she probably tried to hit that at perfectly the wrong time. To
carry on as ulti, to
stay alive.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just very well played, and yeah, it just sort of looked bad, looked worse than it was, and I guess technically Morgana should be like getting in there first, but yeah, the rest of the team weren't quite ready on the same wavelength there and sort of went diving straight in. So nevertheless, they can reset themselves, and as you mentioned, Cogmore did a good job at preventing that Baron. Just sort of say, hey, I am here, I can hit you from a long range, and I will chip you away and take your health down and absolutely shred you. So don't get thinking you're going to take an easy Baron there. And I think they were wise to peel away from that one Peculiar as well. They would not have picked it up. It certainly would have gone bad for them at some point. They'd have lost kills. Whether they'd have got the Baron or not is another matter. But they would have lost. They would have lost at least a couple of kills. So logiX, the top farmer currently for them, is continuing to farm on that top lane. I tell a lie, Corky is now took over. He's been a bit of a monster lately. Corky going back to the farm, and honestly they've moved back in towards a bit of a passive phase. So let's have a look at what they've built. You can see Shen's got that Warmogs up there along with that Wit's End he built fairly early on. Hexdrinker and Zeke's for Olaf, that's the top lane, along with that Warden's melee he got early on. Sleazy Weezy continuing to farm out. How has the farm gone between these two? It's actually pretty much even between the two. In terms of gold though, Sleazy Weezy is ahead because he's got that 205. Obviously the ulti sort of immediately helps, and as soon as he gets that dash across in the taunt, it's just like, yeah, free assists, thanks, I'll have the gold from that. Cogmore doing a fantastic job, kept himself well out of it, and he has got that Phantom Dancer building up towards the Infinity Edge right now. 303. Corky in the meantime has got Trinity Force and BF Sword, so a lot of damage from him. In terms of the two AP carries, obviously you've got nearly Rabadon's Death Cap to complete, along with, I say nearly, obviously the big part is the Needlessly Large Rod. That is the large chunk of it, along with Zhonya's Hourglass, compared to trying to build up maybe the Will of the Ancients, maybe going to switch to something, just needed the Hex Tech for the lifesteal. I think it's probably more likely. And we'll switch across to possibly avoid something, I don't know what he could go with. Mid-turret's going to go down very easily there. logiX just picked that one up. And whether that's because Corky happened to be at the top, they just took it a moment of opportunity. As I mentioned, opportunity. Akioso tries to land the Dark Bindings. Just shy of 300 AP, Joe. He's going to start hurting soon.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, with that blue buff on right now as well, cooldown reductions, plus the mana regen, he can spam as much as he wants with that Dark Binding. You can see they're landing in onto Karyath. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. Thought my game was going to die for a split second. Well, luckily not. And it looks like, peculiarly with all 5 men headed into the bottom side of the jungle, they've kept themselves somewhat hidden, apart from Karyanis. Is he just trying to bait them out? No, he's not, because they're pinging them. They know that they're there, and they're not going to fall for this one. phosphorus bomb there, just used actually on the brush by the river by Corky, just to figure out if anyone was actually hidden in there, but they're not. There's actually a lot of farm for some lucky person down on this bottom lane as well when they want it. It looks like Blood Dragon's going to be the one that goes through there. Sleazy Weezy now making his way up to the top as well, which is, you know, they're not far away from there, are Peculiar, and actually he's not going to go in for the farm. He's just checking things out, making sure that there's you know, nobody lurking, or certainly no one thinking about doing this Baron. And we move again into a passive phase. We've said from both these teams there was a little bit of hesitation when they were both in the leading games 1 and 2. And they're showing it once again this time because neither of them have really got a lead. So I guess it's kind of like 6 to 1, half and a dozen or the other. Not really working out, but here we go. There's a Dragon. It's been started off already by logiX. Carianis is there. He's actually going to hock his way in to the team, but he's into all 5 of them. That Morgana is going to get the ulti across all of them, and she pops her Zhonya's hourglass as well. Tabuno will Valkyrie away to stay alive, but will the rest of them be so lucky? Carianis has hooked himself back in there. Now it's logiX who's trying to chase down Akioso. They've got to finish him off quick before he reckless swings someone else, and nice Howling Gale there will stop that happening. And that is going to be a 2 for nothing for logiX. Dragon already down to half HP. Dragon already finished. And Tabuno. Ooh, that Howling Gale not quite connecting. That could have been very dangerous. I think they would have gone straight on top of him if that would have connected. But still, it's 2 kills and a Dragon for logiX, and they can consider that job done.
Job done indeed. And, you know, you saw Carianis going in. He's like, I've hooked on. Yeah, I'm going in. Oh, crap, there's 4 in this bush. It's just like, where did these come from? And he just went down very quickly. Well, actually, he hung on because they switched target, wisely so, to Tabuno. As soon as they spotted Corky in close, they went straight for him. But logiX was actually fighting with that Dragon for a really long time before that. And I was wondering, you know, is the rest of his team going to come and help him? Was it just trying to get a quick steal on it? And then suddenly it developed into a full-blown fight, and logiX coming out again on top. But as we've seen from logiX in the last game, they do not drive home the advantage as much as they should. So the question is, will they do it this time? 30 minutes gone into this match, 9-3 up in kills, 3-3 on towers, so all square in towers. So they're going to feel certainly that they're ahead. They've got the kills, but again, I don't think they're going to drive it home too crazily. logiX needs to be careful here. On the blue buff, Ward goes down, Akioso covering off the area. Blood Dragon's going to see logiX right now. They're going to realise the blue buff is there, and suddenly Akioso will respond. That's going to be a quick steal, and Blood Dragon will just walk away with that one. Smite on it. Akioso was trying to catch out Tabuno or anyone really that was going to come across and help out, but didn't need to. And there will be a steal away. Once you start just ebbing away the enemy resources, you know you're in a stronger position. Shen again doing exactly what he should have done. This is what we talked about in the first game. Doing it just your hotshot GG style split push. He can just be away from the big team fights, and as soon as something happens, just ulti straight across. That's why he's really one of the rare unique champions that can full split push without teleport, which is what maybe you'd see, say, a Cho'Gath do if he was completely split pushing. Quick pings going down on Tabuno here. I think Akioso thought about that, trying to whip the dart binding through. Will go down towards Coralol. Won't quite have enough damage. Had to use full heal there. Didn't go for the ulti heal though, and actually managed to, I think, silence Akioso, so he couldn't really follow up. Not that he can do a great deal after the dark bindings and what's the Tormented Soil? That's the one. I never get that name right. I don't know why. Tormented Soil. Akioso is going to back away. Oh, just about missing out there. The shield had gone down, but that was Shirelia's Reverie popped by Peculiar to try and get that kill.
Yeah, and it would have been a decent kill for them as well to stop this Morgana currently in a 2-1-6 score. Almost 250 CS. Obviously, Rabadon's Death Cap plus the Hourglass finish as well. Currently set on 412 AP. And this Baron is still sitting in his pit wondering, hey guys, 32 minutes in. Are we going to start this show off or what? Intox has cleared out the pit a couple of times, and we see that Blood Dragon is going to start that one off. Shen is down the bottom lane.
They've spotted Corki down the bottom. Shen's just engaged him. Look, you can see he's taunting him, keeping him away from the fight here, and then Shen can just ulti in. Actually, they're peeled off, going towards Carianas. Their story of stealing it, but I will go with it. Peculiar trying to put off. You can see the Pyroclasm went off, and only, like I mentioned, only hit 2 members. Meanwhile, Morgana's ulti goes off. Will hit 1, 2, 3. They can see Carianas now in all sorts of trouble. Severus also taking down Olaf in the back there. Carianas will drop. This is a big, big win for logiX here, and they've come out huge 4-0. What a great fight of opportunity. Corolol will get away from this one, I think. Oh, will he? No, he won't. He's caught out. That's the ace, and that was purely opportunistic. Shen was down the bottom, forcing that problem. Soon as Corki, to see some reason, Corki thought, I'm going to attack Shen, and went straight in there. And then Shen sort of backed away, and the rest of logiX just said, right, Baron. And immediately then just Sleazy just caused problem after problem on him, taunted him, and then obviously came in. And Bob's your uncle, John's your father, and you pick up a very nice Baron. 14-3. Now surely they realise they've got a big advantage.
That's exactly why they're going home.
Yeah, well, they should go home. That's the right thing to do, because you look at the gold, they've got 2.5k on Cogmore. Spend that money.
Yeah, spend that money. We can see that Severus actually is pushing this middle lane for them. Actually, I think he could have had that turret there, but rather safe than sorry. They definitely don't want to be losing Cogmore's
903 Cog.
Yeah, 9-0. That's the kind of AD carry that you just run away from. You don't even try. You don't even try and stand with him. There's nothing that you can do. And what did we see being picked up there? Blasting one by Morgana. Actually, Nocturne is picking up the recurve bow, so possibly headed up towards that Wit's End. Already a Wit's End actually on Shen, plus the Warmog and Randuin's Omen. As Janna is trying to get wards down, clear wards out. And they're going to start to put split push once again with Sleazy. And we saw him that Baron. He did a great job there, #1 spotting Corki, because that's really what the whole starting Baron thing came from. The fact that they saw, right, their AD carry is down at the bottom. He can't do anything actually down there. So, you know, Shen, get your taunts off, slow him down as much as possible. You can see that logiX are starting to push with for this top lane. The question is, how's this going to go? And there goes the Cogmore ulti straight onto the top of Lunatics. And it looks like they're going to go for this one. Corolol is going to get caught out, and that will be an easy kill. Support versus support. It is a win for Janna, this one. And that will be 109 on Janna. And are they going to push straight through for this one? Shen, of course, is there. Is he? What? Where is he? There he is. He's inside the base, causing all the problems. And they are going to jump straight in there. They went for attack man first of all, but they switched to Carianas as we are going to see Morgana ulti proc. Yes, it will, but they've got themselves fairly to safety, but it's enough damage done, to be honest with you. That's going to force them away from the turret. And the inhibitor's going to go down. The question is, are logiX going to push this advantage, or are they going to hesitate like we saw in game #2, Deman?
No, I think they're going to go back and spend, because Intox was down to nothing. They're going to pick Dragon up, I think, probably en route. Maybe take that middle turret. They could tank that middle turret. Yeah, Severus is just like, where the hell are you guys going? Fine, I'll tank it myself. I'll do it all myself. But I can't believe Intox lived there with the Oracle on. The big bomb missed him by a whisker as he was ulting. It would have just dropped him straight away. But yeah, they're going to back away. They're probably going to try and steal the blue en route and the Dragon. But they've got to be careful, because you're going to get an immediate response from Peculiar. You can see they're trying to push straight down to middle. They realise this is their one chance. They can quick push. They've got about a 20-second window to try and do it. Yeah, and that's about as far as they feel confident in going. And are going to pass straight over a ward. So they immediately, logiX know exactly where they are. Severus has not gone back. Severus has still got crazy amounts of money on him. He's nearly up to 14k gold, 1300 on him. And they are going to pick that Dragon up. Wisely so. Blood Dragon going to come around and support him. And they'll take it. Shen doing a fantastic job. This is exactly what Shen should do. This is how a Shen should be played with a team game. It's not always understood by teams how you should do it. You know, once the whole team knows exactly what you're going to do, Sleazy Weezy just split pushing away and just been helping out. Now he's going to tank up that turret. He doesn't really care that it's hitting him, because he's got so much armor and health. He just can just eat all them hits up. And honestly, Peculiar Gaming are in a deadly position here. We've got to talk about this brand pick again. 1-4-1. Has not really worked. Pyroclasm in that big Baron fight, completely missing. Hit 2 people. One of them was already on his hourglass up. it did nothing. And I'm not convinced by that pick. And honestly, everybody in chat could see it as well. It's not just me.
Yeah, and I'm wondering as well, I mean, Abyssal Scepter is his next item in there, so, you know, a bit of ability power, the magic resist, and the magic resist reduction around you. Is that really what he needs? Is he not better off going for raw AP, to be quite honest, at this stage? I mean, you're not getting through the Black Shield either way, which way you look at it, and you're definitely not getting through a Zhonya's Hourglass, that's for sure. But still, I agree. Early on in the game, that's where Brand needed to shine, where he needed to be picking up these kills. And, you know, they've done right here as well. logiX, you've seen they've been diving straight in. I think almost every time we've seen a team fight, the Nocturne ulti has gone in onto Attackman, onto Brand. And that's how they've been playing it. We are going to see them split off here 3 for 2. Couple of pushing bottom lane. The others pushing, yeah, middle, yeah, and top's pushing those super minions through. Luckily for them, the minions have just spawned as they start to work their way in. Here comes the ulti. Coralol has gone low. Coralol has gone down. And Morgana is in the middle of them. The stun will proc off. Carianis is still alive, but how for much longer? Not for long. And they all die in one big pile on the floor. And Kaizo is still alive. That shield's not going to protect him from Corki, but it won't matter. He gets shut down. But they've taken down Corki afterwards, and now it leaves just Attackman to defend versus 3, and it's the Kog'Maw that's the real problem that's still alive. Attackman actually can't do anything against that AD of Kog'Maw, and you can see there just one hit how low he goes. There's just 2 hits, and it really did just take 2 hits to take pretty much half of his HP away. Severus is going to finish off this inhibitor, and then should join his team to hit these turrets, to be honest, get the game done with.
The question is it a pylon or a bundle? That's the ultimate question.
They were all dead either way.
They were all dead for sure. Nocturne went in, then they just collapsed on his head, and everybody died on the same spot. That is GG, and well, 21-5. logiX finally answering why they were favourites coming into this tournament, and they looked really strong throughout this game. So they are going to face Faculty in the finals, formerly known as Homeless, who really also looked brilliant. I've got to be honest, it could be a fantastic finals, but I believe, Joe, before that we're going to have the 3rd and 4th place playoff.
Yes, 3rd and 4th place playoff is, well, imminent, I suppose. Actually, they played both games on the stage, and the 3rd, 4th place playoff game is going to be played off the stage, which means I suppose that Peculiar have to get off the stage. My words are gone now. I think I'm just going to turn off. Yeah, it's what, 5 o'clock here. We've been going since 11 o'clock this morning. We've done 2 best of 3s, and we've got another 2 best of 3s still to go. Something tells me the grand final will be pushed all the way, and it wouldn't surprise me if the 3rd place game is a full best of 3 either. So guys, make sure you keep yourselves tuned in. We'll be the best of 3 for 3rd place coming up next. I'll make sure I keep you updated on the streaming Twitch chat, and also the little thing at the bottom of the screen, the insert there as well. And then moving on finally to the grand final for tonight. So it's all going to be done here and today. So basically, don't go anywhere. Get yourselves onto Twitter at Joe_Miller, at QVDemon. Send us your predictions for the games. Anything you want to get out there onto the stream. Any feelings that you've got that need to be expressed with the world. Send them our way, and we can do that for you. But don't go anywhere, guys. 3rd place playoff coming up here shortly.